Hey, what's up YouTube? Clark here again. I'm doing another quick video for you guys. This is going to be on EDC fixed blades, and it's going to go through my progression through my own personal EDC fixed blades. I'm going to give you my opinions of them each and why I ended up where I am currently and where I want to be with my EDC fixed blade. Disclaimer, this is only about EDC fixed blades on the utility side. These are not, the majority of them are not defensive knives, although some can function as them, but these are mainly for utility purposes. So just letting you guys know that real quick right off the bat. Let's jump right in. I'm going to show you guys the very first fixed blade that I ever EDC'd. And for those of you who don't know, which I'm sure all of you do, or I would like to think that all of you do, EDC means everyday carry. Okay, so this is the very first one. It looks super cheesy because it is. I was like 12 when I bought this. It's an Mtech Extreme Tanto fixed blade with like 440C steel. It's got G10 handles, which is nice. It's the first knife I ever had with G10 handles, and the first knife I ever owned with a Kydex sheath. And I was like, man, that's so cool. It snaps in. There's not even like a button or anything. It's just tension. And I wore that on my belt in a multitude of ways. This is a fairly decent knife for the money. You're paying about 10 bucks, 10 to 12 bucks for this, and it's gonna function fairly well. I can't really complain. It didn't break over the like 3 years that I carried this before I decided to get a more ready knife, a better knife. And the knife that I got is actually a much more expensive knife. It's the Spartan blades Fright, and this one is somewhat of a combative blade, although I used it, of course, I use it solely for utility. I never had to use it in a self-defense situation, thank goodness. And I would prefer to not use a knife like this in a self-defense situation. There's a style of knife that I do prefer to use, and I'll explain that right now, I guess. I prefer to use knives that are similar to karambits, but not necessarily karambit. I like a knife with a ring feature just for added retention. I think that's very important, especially for self-defense, because you don't know what the situation is gonna be. You can't control that. Only thing you can control is your response to it, and I feel like that a ring on a knife helps you respond better, because if your hands are wet from blood, sweat, or if you're I mean, obviously your sympathetic nervous system is gonna be through the roof. So you're gonna be going, your heart's gonna be pounding, all of your fine motor skills are gonna be gone. You're gonna be limited to gross motor, and so the least amount of effort it takes to perform a task is generally better. So this is the Spartan Blades Fright S35 VM blade steel. This is a fantastic blade. I highly recommend it, although it's a bit pricey. I believe it runs with a Kydex sheath, and I wore this IWB. It comes with an IWB loop, like a soft loop. I wore this IWB on my right side, and it's about $265 for the Kydex sheath with IWB. If you get the standard nylon sheath, I think it's about $250. So Spartan Blades Fright, highly recommend it. Although it is also very difficult to sharpen because of its steel. It's a very tough steel, so you need like a work sharp or something like that, a Spyderco, like the Spyderco sharpening set, something like that. So Spartan Blades Fright, that was my second one. I wore this for about 2 years also, while I was in. you're gonna laugh. While I was a freshman and sophomore in high school is when I wore this. I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, you have a knife in high school? Utah is really pro knife and pro gun. As long as you're not an idiot and you brandish it or you're negligent with it, then people are pretty cool about it. So after that, the next knife I'm going to show you, I did not carry for very often. I carried it for a short while because it's a good knife, and I think it's probably the highest value knife that I'm going to show you. But I had better options later, and I had one that I really like, and I have one more that I want to get that I think I'll like more. This is the Gerber Go Strike fixed blade. Gerber gets a lot of flack from people. People think it's not a great brand. I disagree. I think Gerber puts out very high value knives, and especially their sheath innovations are extremely innovative. They think outside the box. This sheath here, the knife can go in like that, or you can flip the knife upside down and it'll go in the same way, and it has the same retention. It's very tight. There's a little bit of a rattle. That's all right, especially when you're wearing it against your body. It doesn't really move. This handle is pressed against you. It's a rubberized it's got like a rubber overmold from the 420 high carbon blade. Show you this. It's made in Portland, Oregon. I don't know if it'll focus, but I'd like to think it might. Anyway, they make quality knives. I think they make quality knives, and for the price, this is going to be running about 50 bucks, which it'll last through almost anything you need to put it through. It's extremely light. It's extremely concealable. I'm missing two of the pieces for the sheath that would help attach it to the belt, but you can attach it in a multitude of fashions. It's just a good knife, and I really appreciate it. But the knife that I want to show you primarily is the knife I'm carrying currently, and that's the Bradford Guardian 3. It's black G10 that I have actually, I don't know if you see that, I've actually filed down the center of the handle to make it easier for the draw. I'm not gonna put that away. This is in N690 steel. The knife I want to get is a Bradford Guardian 3 Warney, is what it's called. It's got a Warncliffe blade, and this one does not. The one I would like to get does. And it's the reason I haven't yet is because it's about $100 more than this one, and this one's about $100. So I haven't been able to pull that trigger just yet. I'd like to soon. But this knife here is a phenomenal knife. I like the blade shape and I like the feel. I don't think there's a better EDC fixed blade on the market, to be honest. There's some good contenders out there. MT Knives Genesis is another EDC fixed blade that I think would be quality. I haven't owned it yet. I probably won't. I'm not a huge fan of the upsweep on the blade is a little bit too, there's just too much of a belly. This blade, I don't know if you can see, is a shallower upsweep, a shallower belly. And so you can get a lot more, in my opinion, you can get a lot more straight line cutting instead of having to twist your finger up to use the entire blade on the belly, which I really like. So this is my choice EDC fixed blade. These are some of the other fixed blades I've owned. If I ever do get the Bradford Guardian 3 Warning, I will definitely make a video after using it for quite some time. And yeah, that's this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more, and definitely comment. I really appreciate you guys' comments. I tried to work on some of the things that were left in the previous comments from my other videos. Namely, that would be lighting as well as the autofocusing. But please leave more comments. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. Take care.